So some apps to watch, which I'm sure is what many of you came here wanting to know. You will not know every application. There is no way for me to come in here and say, this and this and this and this is what you should be looking out for. I'm going to tell you some features that you should be looking out for, okay? One of the features is anonymity. If you can go on to something anonymously, you need to be wary of it. And if you have rules about the applications that your children add, tell them, do not add anything where you can be anonymous. Because anonymity allows them contact with people who could be posing as people who they're not. Anonymity also allows for more cyberbullying, more animosity between users because you're not associated with the comments that you're saying. The other thing you need to watch out for is something called geographic matching. With geographic matching, they're finding users in your area. Your middle schoolers knew why this was dangerous. I asked, and I think one of the youngest kids said, this is dangerous because that means someone from my area can find me. And they knew it could be someone who is like a child molester could find them. And that's a really dangerous part of any application. Of the applications that I have up here, the ones that do geographic matching are Kik, Whisper, Secret, Tinder, and Hot or Not. Those all do geographic matching. Actually, Kik does as well. How many people know all of these apps? You see this list and you know them all. Oh, okay. then your kids know more than you. So it's confirmed. So this is Yik Yak. This is a gossip app. If you see this little ox, it's bison, whatever. It's not just some cute little cartoon. It is a place where people go on and gossip, and it's local gossip. So it can be really damaging. I know among college students, this is something that people use a lot, and because it's anonymous, they can really hurt each other without any culpability. This was the calculator app that was involved. I tried 3 of them. They were all great. They work as calculators. If you went on my phone, you would never know it wasn't a calculator, but I have a special passcode, and then it turns into a secret file that I can put anything in. Pictures, I can put messages, I can put contacts, I can put applications in there. So your children might be hiding things on their phone that you are not even aware of and hiding them behind some of these apps. Snapchat, this is an obvious app that is related to sexting, which I'm going to talk about in a second because the messages disappear. WhatsApp and Kik are messaging apps that you will not see on your AT&T mobile app because they're internet-enabled apps. They just go on and you won't ever see any evidence of the messages that they're sending. What's dangerous about Kik is that it also has the anonymity. WhatsApp, they're people that are already in their contacts. And I use this a lot with people who are in Europe and things like that. It's a way to keep in contact with people where you don't have to have a cost for messaging. So, for example, when you're messaging with European friends. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. I am going to tell you that although Tinder is the thing among adults, how many people have heard of Tinder? Swipe right, swipe, okay. Hot or Not is something that's a similar thing being used among high school students now, where it's been around for a really long time, but it also, you can swipe, and it does the geographic matching. So you are now being swiped, you can swipe right or left with people who are your age, and it's being used by teen daters in a similar way as Tinder is being used. You see the picture, you swipe right or left. I tried it out yesterday, just to be sure, and my options were not great in Fort Wayne. Just to let you know. But I just wanted to try it out just to see what it was like. I have a picture up here of Nicole Lovell, the young girl who was killed from the Virginia Tech students. She was using Kik, and she called the boy her Kik boyfriend. So she thought that he was her boyfriend. And this is one of the dangers of the anonymity and this geographic matching. I also want to say there's another thing. If it allows private messaging within the app, that is another layer of danger, because that means that it's not only a chat room, a public forum where a lot of people are, it allows for direct communication between 2 people.
Yeah. Because you asked our middle school students how many have used, not just know about them, but how many have used those apps up there. And I'm telling you, our 7th and 8th graders sitting in the back 4 or 5 rows, and it was well more than 2/3. It felt like almost every hand went up.
I would say of the whole group, about half of the kids, when I said how many of you have used at least one of these apps, half the kids have. And these are not the safe ones. The safe ones are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They can choose who they become friends with, kind of safe. These are the dangerous ones. At least half of the middle schoolers had used them. And yes, much more prevalent in the last 2 rows. Thanks for reminding me of that. And you may not even know that they're using it. So I do want to say that cell phones can be used for something good, and I know some of you probably have this enabled because I asked the middle school students who had this enabled, and some of them did. So how many people knew you can share your location? Specifically, if you have iPhones, it's very easy, but you can also do it on Android phones. You just go into your messages, go into details, and you can have them turn on their location sharing indefinitely, for you only. They have to make sure that it's enabled in the settings for messages. But this could be a dangerous thing if they share their location with everyone, because they can do geotagging and geo-tracking. So I want to make sure that you know that you can use this, but make sure they don't turn it on for everyone. You can track your child indefinitely, and they knew what that meant. You can track them for an hour, you can track them for a day, you can set a time period, I'm going to track them for this long. But it might be one of those things, one of those rules that you say when you give your child a phone. I am giving you this phone, but it has to always have geo-tracking enabled so that I can always see where you are with this phone.
Yeah, this was even a couple of years ago. One of my son's friends, who was a good kid, they were smart enough, all their friends with like their phone in like a bush, where they said they were gonna go, and then we're hours away.
So there's a way to do it. Okay, well they're going without their phones, so you're taking away the danger of the phone, but you are not.
Else probably had a phone.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I was shocked by that one because
There are ways around geo-tracking. I mean, again, what it points to is you guys having conversations with your children about what's appropriate. They're going to find loopholes around things, definitely. So I just want to say my expertise is obviously in sexting. Sexting is, according to researchers, the new first base. This is not a bad kid thing to do. This is a kid, an adolescent thing to do. They're discovering their sexuality, and it's a perfect storm because they're also getting this technology where they can take 100 pictures and only use one and put it through the right filter and make themselves look beautiful. And they want to share this with the people that they're romantically involved with. Your kids are sharing these most often with committed relationship partners, with boyfriends, girlfriends. However, they are also sharing them with casual sex connections. They're also sharing them with people that they don't know, but only online. Sexting is incredibly common. By the time your kids reach me, boys have sexted an average, so this is my undergrads, boys have sexted an average of 70 times, 70 sex messages sent. Girls have sent an average of 35 sex messages. Boys have sent them to about 6 people, girls have sent them to about 4 people. That's 4 people that they have sent messages to who may not be current relationship partners, and these messages can last forever. So I wanted to show you really quickly, I'm not going to talk about this much, but the fact that it is kind of a normal thing. 60% of 10th graders have been asked for a sext, 31% asked for sext, 28% sent a sext, so this is 10th graders. A year later, the kids who had sent a sext were more likely to be sexually active. Sexual activity typically increases in high school. However, they weren't more likely to be involved in any risky behaviors, like unprotected sex, number of sex partners, or alcohol or drug use before sex. Just be aware that this is happening. It's time for you to have really good, in-depth conversations with your children about sexuality in general, but also about what types of pictures, I think someone had mentioned, what types of pictures they should be sending or not sending, and the fact that they can follow them forever. Sexting. Well, why are we sexting? I'm just going to say, we had barriers. When we wanted to express our sexuality when we were 13, 14, 15, whatever it was, we would have either get a Polaroid camera or do a 35mm photo shoot some way and then take it to get developed. And then what do? Mail it or hand it to someone? It was a lot. It was effort that you would have had to put into it. Not now. It takes 1 second to take this picture. And you have all these filters, and then it takes 1 second to send it. So why is it happening? Because it is just so easy to do with these devices.